Hey everybody, it's Gary May, Brew Guy, Brewtubers Club President, coming to you from the pool area. Anyway, I wanted to talk about a few things. First of all, I always have to discuss the beer we're drinking. So this is my sour New England IPA. This is the one I'm entering into NHC. We'll see. It's actually quite a beautiful beer, as you can see in the tangent cam there. Yeah, won't talk too much about this beer, but it is really enjoyable. Lightly soured. I didn't go crazy. I got down to about 3.9 and cut it off there. I didn't want to be a detractor, but I'm super pleased with it. It's really nice. What I wanted to talk to you guys about is the Brewtubers Yeast Experiment. The registration is closing here at the end of the month. The Brewtubers members, club members, those that want to participate have already signed up. So we are kind of opening this up now to the public. Now remember, when you sign up for these, you can sign up for up to 2. All right, so it's pretty simple. You go to the website, brewtubers.com. You register for up to 2 of the yeast experiments before March 29th. You brew the recipe, everything is on the website, everything you need to know is on the website. However, if you have further questions, you can always come over to Discord and pop into the lobby and ask anyone in there your questions, or you may have, and I'm sure there's someone in there that can answer your questions, including myself. So, first one that's due is the Kvike yeast experiment. That one would be due from the time the registration completes. To the hub, it's about 5 weeks, I believe. So you get those beers in first because those would be done quicker. The next would be the Saison. Those would be due, I believe it's to the hub, like roughly, don't hold me to it, it's all on the website, around 2 months later from the time of the registration closing. So that doesn't mean that you have to brew them all, those 2 beers, at the beginning of April. That's entirely up to you. You can if you want, and you would just sit on them and age them in cans or bottles or a keg if you have the ability to do so. If not, you can brew the Saison a month later. That is entirely up to you. We're just giving you the flexibility to brew those beers in that extremely long time frame. Now, it's your best interest to brew the Saison sooner than later because it does better as it ages out a little. And same thing with the Double, that one's like 3 months later. So even though the registration closes at the end of March 29th, you basically have 2 months to brew the Double if you wanted to only age it for a month. We're trying to give you the flexibility. I understand it's a variable. Don't worry about that. That's not really a concern. There are many other ways to have variables, and water is the biggest variable. We all know that. So we've taken that one out of the mix. So if you want to remove even more variables, you could, of course, order all your supplies from one of our sponsors, and that would be Beer and Wine Hobby. And they have put together the recipes for us. They know if you mention that you're with Brewtubers and you're doing, drop Kvike Nate recipe, they should know what you're talking about and be able to provide you with the ingredients that you need. So if you're doing the Saison, same thing, you could go to, you could go to Beer, Wine, and Hobby and the Double recipe as well. All of those can be purchased from our sponsors. Also, if you are doing the yeast experiment and there is a imperial yeast that may fit the category, please use imperial yeast because they are one of our sponsors as well. 5-star, make sure you're using the 5-star chemical products, man. Those 5-star guys are great. And most of us use it, but they've got some new products out, so you should check out their website on some of the new stuff they got going on. Don't get too wrapped around the axle. Everything is on the website. Super easy, just have to get the RO water. Salts have been broken down super easy. If you don't understand water profiles, that's not a problem. We've broken it down into teaspoons, grams, whatever you need, we will figure it out for you and we'll make it as super easy as possible. If you have any further questions, again, come to Discord and pop into the lobby. First of all, always register and sign up for Brewtubers. You don't have to pay for a membership. There is a free membership as well, which will get you into the lobby. Please do so that we can have your contact information. When we have other things going on, we can reach out to you by email. Well, I haven't been drinking much of my beer here, guys. Oh yeah, such a nice smell. We'll see how it does. All right, get to the website. Sign up for the Brewtubers Yeast Experiments. You have 2 out of 3 choices. If you want to do a Belgian double, possibly 13 iterations of the same beer recipe with different yeasts. And you get to try those. You get to try all of them. And they get shipped to you. And you get to try 13 different iterations of the same beer with different yeasts so that you can pick the one you like out. It may not be the one that everybody else decides they like the most, but it might be the one you decide you like the most. That will be your beer. And then you can reproduce that recipe, use that yeast that you enjoyed the most from the experiment, and maybe tweak it a little. Make it your own recipe. You just had 13, possibly, iterations of the same beer done in one fell swoop. That is the beauty of the experiments. Don't get caught up in the weeds like all equipment variables and this and that. You know, we've removed as much variables as we could possibly do in this setting. Water and chemistry, we're all doing the same thing. Huge variable, huge. Now we understand there's brew house differences and the way we brew beer might be slightly different. And that does play in the beer a little bit. We know that. There's no way to remove that unless we're all brewing off the same wort. That is not what we're trying to figure out here. This is a more generalized understanding of what yeast brings to the table for each style. And no, we're not saying that everybody has to use isolates. I know that there are people out there that want to just do isolates. That's fine. If you do, then maybe this experiment is not for you. Isolates are welcome, and also blends are welcome, as long as they're Kvike yeast, as long as you're fermenting them in the recommended range. As long as that's all documented on the label, we don't care. Would be, of course, your brew date, your gravity, your original gravity, your final gravity, your yeast proximate. We don't have to do cell count, but we can say underpitched, overpitched, pitched, normal pitch, whatever. And then the pitching temperature. You know, I ferment it at 85. I ferment it at 94. You know, that's on the label. And then the can or bottle date. Boom. So then we have everything we need to know. When we're judging the beer, we're like, okay, well, this one's got some age on it. All right, maybe that's why the hops are a little muted. That's okay. What did that yeast bring to the style in general? That's what we're doing. Same thing with the Saison. There are a lot of Saison yeast out there. It surprised me how many there were. Way more than 13, however, we have only 13 slots. You can have a Saison recipe brewed potentially 13 different times, and you will get to taste the differences on what those yeasts can bring to the table. Belgian double. Belgians, those need a little more time to age. That's why that's the last one due to the hub. They're a bigger beer. They're going to take more time to review. It's the last one. It'll take us through the summer. It'll be fun. The experiments really are going to take us really from the end, well, the beginning of May all the way through to July. So this will keep us busy all summer long, but nothing crazy, nothing that is going to take too much time out of our day. We're going to have a great time with this. You should join the fun. I'm telling you, the last experiments, we have learned so much from them. Come in, join the fun, brewtubers.com. Please register. There's only a certain amount of slots available. Check it out. You can select up to 2, okay? Cheers, guys. And remember, no one's smarter than all of us, guys and gals. Share knowledge and brew great beer. Cheers.